Yay Media Group.
It was so weird. I know people want to hear that, like, I had this amazing experience, and maybe now I would, but at the time it was a very stressful day.
Hey dude, I think the 90s are calling.
Hello and welcome to Hey Dude, the 90s Called podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, David Lasher, and I'm here with my partner in nostalgia, Christine Taylor.
Hi, David.
How'd I do?
That was incredible.
Is that a good intro?
I know. We usually do, like, I do the intro and you do the outro at the end.
I know,
you're really good at the selling. You're really good at the plugging the.
And follow us.
Check us out. Yeah, you're really good at that.
Everyone has the same exact outro. It's like, please follow us and subscribe and like.
Right, exactly. Subscribe. Hit subscribe.
And then I got the please. Mel Robbins is always like, please share these episodes with anyone you think. Do them a favor.
Right. So you've taken that on a bit too.
I
like it. But you did a great intro. I think you're jack of all trades. It's official.
It felt real. I felt it. What's happening with this going into springtime?
I love when we have later, when the sun is out longer and the days feel longer, and as the weather turns, and I think, knock on wood, it's like, hopefully there's no more big snow happening in New York. I think everything's kind of melting away, and so
you guys have to have a beautiful spring after that winter.
We've earned it.
Yeah.
We've earned it.
The flowers are going to bloom a little brighter and smell a little sweeter.
Yes. And are you into March Madness? Because I know by the time this airs, we'll probably be deep into it. But do you ever do a bracket, and do you get involved in it, in picking teams just for fun?
Yeah, just because my son Casey he's so into it. So we always do, we pick our brackets. I don't really know so much about college basketball. Do you?
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Used to.
Right.
Yes, used to be so in it. But now
I know you do.
There is a team though, I think, because just from watching a lot of the Knicks game, they sometimes like flash on the, there was a team, a college team, it was one of them. It's not University of Miami, or maybe it is, but it's a Miami team that I think has been undefeated the entire season.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if they have lost a game yet, but it was like, it was a big phenomenon because there's always the top teams, but this was a big surprising undefeated team this year. So
my friends from U of A were very excited about the Wildcats this year. They were undefeated for a while.
See, so there could be, that's right. Because when we were in Arizona, there was a game on. You were,
yes,
when you were playing pool. I remember you commenting that.
At the Tanque Verde Ranch. Yeah,
got some college hoops knowledge that he's sharing.
I'm a good pool player too, aren't I?
Yeah, you did well. We usually do a family bracket that it's just like my dad always does it, like goes with most of the number one team. It basically comes down to the last weekend of who has gotten the final four right. Because if you're kind of staying with the numbers, but Brian will always go with the big upset, or I'll just rant because I have nothing at stake. In the last few years, we haven't even put in any cash on it. Like we should each put in $20.
It's just
so
a
that
good
whoever
reason.
wins, it'll be $100, right?
Having some stake in all the games gives you reason to watch.
I get annoyed when everyone just picks the top things and it's boring. So I try to pick some underdogs, and then usually I'm out early. I'm usually out.
Yeah. I like teams like Gonzaga.
Yeah, exactly. Always fun. They always do well. Anyway, we have a really great guest on today that our mutual friend and Hey Dude writer, Lisa Melamed. It's one of Lisa's dearest friends, and they co-wrote a book together, a book called Where's Big Dog? A Story of Loss and Love. Jessica Collins is who has done tons of work, a big soap star, won an Emmy, huge soap star, but also did tons of work throughout the 90s on some of the biggest shows, some fun movies, great stories. And this is our first time meeting Jessica. We've heard about her for years through Lisa. So this is such a treat.
Yeah, she's been on every show.
everything. So let's welcome Jessica Collins to our podcast. Oh my God.
This is crazy. I have been hearing about you for both of you,
Right.
for 20 years.
This is insane that this is the first time we're meeting because, all right, for all of our listeners and, you know, we all have a mutual friend, Lisa Malamed, who was one of our favorite writers on Hey Dude. And who we just saw like a month ago. And Lisa and Jessica have been friends for probably, maybe we have a couple years on you because.
Years on me, yeah.
But you guys have, and I mean,
It's
we
2000.
have so much to talk about because, well, first of all, I think we had to have been auditioning for the same things back then, period.
I was just telling my husband, I don't know when, but all of us, I think, were probably in the same rooms.
Auditioning for all the same.
But you were
TV
East
shows.
Coast, right?
I was East Coast. I came out here in the 90s. I came out in 94.
Okay.
So I was.
So we were in the LA rooms. We were all there. It's I mean,
I know I read for Loving. I remember that New York soap opera.
You remember who you read for?
No, but I know I read for that in New York.
Both would have been perfect for Loving. I can't believe I didn't see you there. I mean, really, you would have been great.
430 episodes. Is that true?
I was going to say your start was soaps, right? That was and that was out of New York, correct?
Yes.
So,
Is that true? Did I do 430 episodes?
That's
what
they're telling us
says.
on the World Wide Web.
Incredible.
That's a lot. Goodness.
That's a lot. So that was your first big job?
That was it. That was my first. Christine, I had done one job before. I had done a milk campaign.
Okay.
The same one you did. I did the one after you.
So milk, it does a body good. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So which one was yours? Mine was the
ballerinas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I was the one in the prom dress mirror one.
I was the prom dress. I was the third from the four girls. I wasn't the grown-up spectacular girl like you, but I was the
yours was because I was not the grown-up one either. And mine, I was the third. Okay. No, I was the third. Yes, we're the same age.
Both started as milk girls. That's phenomenal.
And those were big deal commercials to get.
Huge. It got me out. I was living in a small town in upstate New York. It got me the money to move to the city. It kept me going for a couple of years in New York. That commercial changed my life.
Yes.
Started my professional career that I don't know. I could have done it without it.
Yeah,
which
back
is
then, those commercials, you could make money for years on a commercial back then.
Yeah. I think I made money for about 4 years. In fact, I remember I think it was my first or second year in New York, and it was really getting tight. And I was waiting tables and I was doing jobs and I wasn't booking anything. And it was about to be, oh no, what do I do? And I opened the mailbox and there was $6,000. From the milk commercial. And
nothing like mailbox money.
I could live on $6,000 back then for 1 year. So it was this amazing freedom. And during that year, I booked Loving. And then I was all right. Yeah.
That is insane. I mean, so you were just hitting the circuit of just auditioning for everything and commercials as well, right?
Anything. First of all, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I always knew I wanted to be an actress. I had no idea. I'm from a small town, Amsterdam, New York. I knew nothing about the business. I knew no one in the business. I knew no one in New York City. I mean, it's crazy. I just moved there with a little bit of cash. Karen Kaiser was a casting director and she found me. She said, there's this apartment. You have to take it. It was $500 a month. So I took that apartment. I didn't know what a casting director was. I didn't know the difference between I didn't know what casting meant. I mean, I really did not know what I was doing. Everything was learned on the job or in auditions just as I went.
Wow.
And soap operas would be like a boot camp for learning your lines, hitting your marks, being in front of the camera. I mean, an episode a day, right?
Well, that's, an episode a day. And that was great because I still didn't understand the business even when I left, but I did learn how to be on a set. I learned everything there. Right. I learned how important it is to be on time. I learned I have to know my lines. I learned you have to be ready long before you show up to work. You have to have made your choices and do your work. And I worked with such great people that were coming from the theater and all over, really, and in New York, to do a soap was a really fancy thing. There weren't many of them, and they paid really well. And then, you could try to do theater, and you could, I never wanted to be in TV or film. I wanted to be on Broadway. I was going to go to New York. Yes. And I had these dreams of being on Broadway. And not only was I never on Broadway, I couldn't even get an audition for any theater. No one would see me for theater. And they were like, go to Hollywood, go to Hollywood. So I went to Hollywood. And, I just, kind of fell into where whoever said yes.
Yeah. Isn't that true? It's falling into whoever said yes. That is so interesting when you're just starting out.
Oh my God.
You don't have the luxury of sort of making decisions. It's sort of like, yes was the most incredible word you ever heard. And
yes, absolutely. The soap was not, I wonder if I'm going to do this. Like, of course I'm going to do this. And it was the best decision. I would tell any young actor to jump on a soap. You're going to learn so quickly.
Yeah. Oh man. I auditioned for so many of them and I never got cast. I auditioned for them in New York.
Yes.
I auditioned for As the World Turns because that was the soap I actually watched at the time too.
As the World Turns. Yeah.
And then later my roommate ended up, she was an actor on As the World Turns, Martha Byrne. She was, yes. So I had grown up kind of watching her in high school and then ended up the Dusty and Lily and Holden and the whole story.
Remember them dancing at the pool party? Oh my gosh. Yes.
But I did remember getting close to a few of them and the stakes were so high because you were in the studio where they were shooting. And I mean, Tootsie is like the perfect example of.
I was just going to say, I'm picturing Jessica Lange and,
It was like that though. I would see the actors walking through when I was auditioning. I was like, oh my God, there she is. Yes. It was so cool.
I think Loving was probably my fourth soap opera test. Yeah, I got into that loop, where I was testing for All My Children and what else? It was One Life to Live and As the World Turns. Who knows? Maybe we were testing for the same thing.
The same part. Right.
But I was in that loop and not getting. And actually I was in a test. This is coming back to me now. It was a test for Loving and I didn't get it. And another girl got it, but the producers, the head of the network said, not for this role, but put her on as a 6 episode arc and let's see how she does. And, by the end of that, they signed me to a 3-year deal. And, I became a big character on the show. Yeah.
Those must have been great times though, being a working actress on a soap in New York City. It was amazing. Ideal.
I wish I had been paying closer attention because it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we were all, for the most part, we were all good kids. I mean, if we didn't have phones, we weren't being photographed all the time. But we were all in our late teens, early 20s. And it was just a great time to be in New York and have a little money. And much like your show starting out, we had this community of young actors. We all did everything together.
Wow. And was it a tough decision when the show, when your storyline ended or your contract ended or to leave New York and to go to LA, or did it really feel like the natural next step?
I left. I saved all my money. And
you knew you were ready.
I knew I was ready. And also I couldn't get an audition for the theater. I can stay on the soap or I can, so I saved my money and I knew I wanted to leave. And they weren't happy. I've left both the soaps I were on. I chose to leave. And most people don't because it's a great gig.
Steady.
It is a great gig. It's steady work. It's in town. You can have a great life on soap. And so most people don't leave. I'm antsy. I like to do other things. I like to see what else is out there. I like change. And so both times I left, they were not thrilled. And you start to feel like your wardrobe starts getting really awful and you stop putting so much makeup and like, she doesn't need her hair done today. And so it's not fun.
No.
It's not fun. They fire people all the time and let go of people. But when you leave, they're not super happy, but that's okay. I had a great base of friends that some of them I still have now. And then I came out here and I had some money. I didn't have to go right back into a restaurant or another job. And I had really never auditioned at the pace you did back then.
Yep.
In LA, where you're changing 3 times in your car, and you're driving all over the valley and then Venice and then back to the valley, but you live in
Culver City and
exactly. Right. I hadn't driven because I lived in New York City. So, it was a complete culture shock. The weather, it was all the business. It was all Hollywood here.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, LA is where everything was. I mean, New York had the soaps. It was theater and some of the and the soaps, and every now and again something interesting would come out of New York. But you had to be in LA, which is not the case today.
Right? You might go to Vancouver, but that was about it back then.
Yeah, right. But you'd audition in LA.
In LA,
Everything was done in LA. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, it was, I remember feeling like coming from the East Coast, and we had the couple of years in Tucson, Arizona. Yes. So it was sort of like my introduction to not being on the East Coast, but that was desert. And then I just remember getting to LA and I just loved it so much. Every day was like, the palm trees are incredible and being able to sit outside and eat a meal and just be, I just had never experienced that lifestyle, know?
Yes.
It's so seductive. And the 90s in LA were so amazing.
Yes. So did you immediately just start pounding the pavement and start auditioning for anything? And I assume you had an agent at that point. And
I had an agent. I mean, I auditioned a lot. Like I should have worked more.
But I was looking at your credits and it's just like you did guest spots in all of the big shows.
So many guest spots. And back then you could live off that. If you could get 2 or 3 guest stars a year, it would get you by till you got a big job,
Right.
So
it was more about keeping the faith of, how many more times do I want to be the guest star on the show? Even though it was always a win, as we talked about earlier, when you were cast and it was always sort of like, okay, that's a sign. That's a good sign that I'm doing the right thing.
It was when they said yes. I was, and I still think of myself as a jobbing actor. I needed the job. Yes, it was great for my career, but I needed to eat.
I needed to pay bills.
I don't come from a wealthy family that was fronting this experience. So this was, I had to say yes to things that maybe, I would have liked to say no, certainly, but it was a good job and it would help get my insurance and all of that. And that's what she did,
Yes.
And there was plenty of work, right? There was a lot of work for everybody back then.
There was.
I know, but it just still felt like it was hard to get it. It felt hard to get it, I think, because
I don't know about you guys, but I was a and I think I still am. Like, I'm a lousy auditioner. You know, I am not. That is not where you shine.
I have to say, honestly, we had Ben, my husband, on here talking about that he was a horrendous auditioner. Like, he did not get cast in a lot of things that he had to audition for. And that's why he just started to make his own stuff. Like, he knew he wanted to direct.
I get shaky.
Oh, right.
I get to where I can't even hear my own voice.
You like black out almost.
It's just that, you get that like I black out. Right. So that's probably contributed to, maybe I would have worked more if I was a better auditioner. And, they talk about, you got to go in and bring yourself. I didn't do any of that.
Well, if there's so much pressure, you have 5 minutes in a room full of people.
I showed them nothing of myself or who was going to be on set. I was just trying to nail this. The sides like a gymnast does her jump,
right. Sticks the landing.
Get out as soon as possible. I couldn't get out of the room fast enough, so that was my style in the room.
Well, whatever that was, it worked because I'm looking like you did a few episodes of Beverly Hills 90210. These were huge shows in the 90s. Coach, Lois and Clark. Star Trek Voyager, Dawson's Creek, and then well into the 2000s, so many more. But were you, when those, like 90210, and David, you did an arc, multiple episodes on 90210, and that was a show I remember was so huge when you'd get an audition for.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I remember the waiting room, and I remember Deep in the Valley going and auditioning for that, and it was just those were coveted guest star roles.
Yes.
So that had to have given you a boost, or at least even a confidence boost, to know you were one of thousands and thousands of people getting cast in the biggest show, hottest show on television.
Yes. Well, it was a little bit of a consolation prize because I had tested, for a role. I can't remember what the role was, but you probably know. No. I tested for another role. And I tested, I think, 3 or 4 times. And I was told, you're going to get this. You're the favorite. Oh my God, well, yeah. And I was seeing my life. I was in my 20s and I was just seeing like, this life I'm going to have. And then at the last minute, we did the test and it was Hilary Swank and me. And she got the part. And so they said, but we're going to give you 3 episodes. So any other time, 3 episodes would have seemed like, oh my gosh, the greatest thing. But it was sort of
there. That was the consolation.
I was in a storyline with Hillary and I kept watching the role that I thought,
oh, no way,
would be mine, that was going to change my life and no more unemployment for me and blah, blah, blah. But, everything works out the way it's supposed to. You don't know that at the time, but so at the time it was a little bit of
I remember that show was really fun to work on. My first episode was on the beach and we shot in Santa Monica, and those guys had just blown up. I mean, they were like on the cover of Rolling Stone, and it was, I had just moved to LA too. And I was like, this is great. Like things are going to be great here.
And David, you didn't even have to audition for that, right? Because you had done a series with Aaron Spelling, right?
Wow.
That didn't go or was short-lived or something. But he loved you because he kept casting you in things.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Aaron was very cool. Once you got into that world, they would give you more and more work. But, I remember that show was that is like, that represents the 90s to me, that show. Yeah. And I feel like almost every actor did something on there.
Absolutely. I feel like, a lot in my career, I used to say, I'm the almost girl. I'm the almost girl. And when I met Lisa, when I met our mutual friend, Lisa, we realized that, I had actually auditioned for her maybe 7 years before. And she went, hang on, I have a notebook and I keep notes of everybody that auditions. And I thought, oh no. And she goes to the page, goes, Jessica Collins, almost.
No.
And
that's your nickname now.
That's me. I was
Almost girl.
I was almost
so close.
Almost. Yeah, but it's okay because you know what? I started my 40 and on has been so much better for me than 15 to 40 was.
Yeah. And isn't that refreshing too? Because you're getting
much better parts, much more interesting parts, not the hustle that we all had to go through and, what do you want me to be and all that stuff. So
and you're more grounded in who you are. And that I always feel like at this state, this chapter of my life in the last, decade or so, I just feel like even the life experience that I'm able to bring just as an actor of
absolutely
being able to tap into things that I didn't have access to or know about or even had any concept of in my early 20s.
Yes.
Which is so fulfilling.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we all have kids, right? I think kids help sort of, I don't have time to worry and get nervous about an audition because I have to run from this to the school pickup. Or I've got to do something to help my daughter or something. So you have something else going on besides just your work.
That's true. Yeah.
First of all, we can't gloss over that period of time though, because you did get cast in a role in Catch Me If You Can and to work with Steven Spielberg. And I mean, what was that experience like?
That was a very strange experience. I'm one of the girls that Leonardo DiCaprio he goes to a college and he's recruiting girls who are going to pose as flight attendants for him.
Right.
And that day, it was a very strange day. The first day we shot, Steven wanted us all to be very, very nervous, like terrified. So he had everything set up in one room, and then he had all of us waiting in another. And one by one, the girls would go in like an audition, exactly like an audition.
But you had already been cast.
We don't even cast.
This is horrible.
I was Debbie or something. I don't know what And yes, we already had the job, and there were maybe 10 of us. And as each one would go in, when she came out, she went to another room, so you couldn't ask any questions. And it was building for us, what's happening in that room? What are they doing in that room? So we were so scared of what was on the other side. And it felt exactly like an audition. I remember walking in and not even knowing where the camera was. Okay, there's the camera and there's Leo and there's a bunch of people in the back and it's a period piece, so they're blowing smoke everywhere. And I had no understanding of my surroundings or what was happening or who to ask.
But that's what they wanted from you.
That's what they wanted. And we just did the scene. Okay, great. That was great. And I was so mad. Like, we're actresses. Why didn't you trust that we would be able to come in here and be whatever you want to be? And it was so scary. And you can see it in the movie. You can see we can barely speak.
It's a good thing. A good thing it wasn't a dying scene.
Oh my God. Yeah, really.
I want to go back and watch. I feel like it's been on, in the last couple of years. I want to go back and specifically
watch the girls. They're like, I want to be a flight attendant
because it was all real. I mean, being
on set with Steven Spielberg and Leo is scary enough.
Oh yeah.
That's intimidating right there.
It was so weird. I know people want to hear that I had this amazing experience, and maybe now I would, but at the time it was a very stressful day.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Which is disappointing when you've actually already gotten the job.
Oh yeah. This isn't how I saw it going. Yes.
That's so interesting.
And also when I think about the great experiences I've had with so many directors and so many actors and so many big and famous actors, how generous, and I'm not saying they weren't generous and all that stuff, but when you think
they were doing something specific, so you didn't have that.
Exactly.
You didn't have that opportunity to hang.
We didn't get that.
Yeah. That's the most fun part. Those are the joys. It's not even the work itself, we talk about this often on the podcast too, is super fun, but it's the in-between moments when everybody's just kind of hanging out and taking it in and getting to know each other, the sort of social behind the scenes. And so that's interesting that it's and a fascinating thing to, I wonder if that's still how he would do that today, or if it was just,
I wonder how the other girls feel about it.
You guys should have like a little reunion.
A support group.
A support group. How did you guys feel about that?
How did you do it? Because I was not well after that for quite some time.
Lisa texted me to ask you about playing our friend Scott Wolf's girlfriend on Everwood.
Oh, I mean, the best part of that was working with him. And again, segueing into people that are amazing. What a nice, kind, talented guy.
Genuinely good person.
I would work with him any day, anytime. He's great. He's so talented as an actor to work with on screen, but that is somebody, if you got to hang with somebody, and he's just lovely. I haven't seen him in years, but every time I have run into him, it's so nice. And he's just I can't say enough great things about him.
Yeah. And that was a WB show?
Yeah. And they shot it in Utah, in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Scott lives in Utah.
Yeah. I
just had dinner with him.
That might have been what took him there.
What took him to, I think so.
Oh my God.
I think so.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the WB also so 90s. That was like, it was like a career-making machine for young actors, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure we all have lots of WB on our resumes.
Yeah.
Now, so for you, having done Loving, gone to LA, done some movies, I mean, do you want to comment on Leprechaun 4 in space? Because I auditioned for the original. I don't even remember 2 and 3. I don't even remember if I got auditions. I do remember auditioning for the original, and like I'm a horror movie fanatic. Like but Leprechaun 4 in space is one I missed.
In space.
So talk to us about.
Did you really? I don't know if you missed. You're good. You
think I'm okay?
I think you're all right.
Because now it could just be a fun watch.
It's never too late. I mean,
it could have changed everything.
Never too late.
Yes, that is my first film. That is the first film.
Was it really?
I ever did. Yeah, and I
because there's cult there's a horror cult group of fanatics who love horror movies, and I'm sure you could go to these,
horror
the conventions.
Yes. I haven't, but I had no idea when we were making this that I'd still be talking about it. Again, this was a job. Great.
Yep.
Oh, it's Leprechaun 4. It's kind of silly, but looks like fun, and it'll pay some bills. And it's 30 years later, it's still, now it is like this cult classic. And a funny thing, my husband wrote and directed, if you are a horror fan, he wrote and directed Jack Frost. And
what?
So listen to this. So when I was, right before they were doing Leprechaun, it was a company, I think they were called Prism, and they were going bankrupt. And, Mr. Banker, whoever that was, said, you got enough money, you can make 2 movies. And so they chose Leprechaun 4 and Jack Frost to make. Now, I wouldn't meet my husband for 20 years, later, but we were simultaneously making Leprechaun 4 and Jack Frost at the same time.
For the same company.
He's meant to be.
Very culty. That is how we both started our careers in that genre.
That is so much fun. And I have no judgment because I did Night of the Demons 2. To me, doing a horror movie, and at the time, I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast at all, but I was auditioning for Night of the Demons 2, and I got carjacked in LA. Like a real carjacking happened to me in broad daylight. It was the craziest. I feel like if for listeners, sorry audition? If I've told this. No, not after the audition, but I had already auditioned for it, got carjacked, and then like a week later found out I got the job. And it was so therapeutic to go to set and work on a crazy horror movie where we're all running around screaming. And I mean, at one point in the movie, I turn into a demon because I get like bit by the demon or whatever. So I got to do like the contacts and like froth at the mouth or something really attractive. But it was so therapeutic and fun to work on. And I knew it was a low budget, nothing, was not going to who knew back in the day, there were no streamers. So you would do movies like this and they would go straight to video is what it was.
Yeah.
Straight to video.
Straight to video.
Yes. And so, but it was just so much fun to work on. So for that to be your first film, was it enjoyable at least? Did you have a good time shooting it? Did it feel fun?
It was that kind of thing where the whole movie was shot probably in 3 weeks. We worked a day. I was the lead or one of the leads. I live. So that's a big deal,
that's
right?
A lead. You're the lead. Yes.
So I was working every day on it. And it was a lot. It was just as much work doing a movie like that as it is doing any fancy project. If you're doing your best, you're showing up, you're learning your stuff, you're doing your work. And
there's a full crew there. They're all doing their work.
They're all doing it.
It feels real. It feels solid.
Yes, it does. But I had no idea. I had no idea that anybody would be talking about it today.
And Jennifer Aniston started her career, right? In Leprechaun, the original.
Yes.
So then you go back, for Young and the Restless, and which shot out in LA. Yes. And for you, was that something that got offered to you? Was it did you struggle with the idea of going back on a soap, or was that appealing at that moment in time?
I was, that was a funny time. I had just come out of a big breakup and I was living with our friend Lisa.
Really?
By the way, Lisa was always the home to the post breakup. Right? I lived at Lisa's house after a big breakup. And I had to send my dog, which we'll get into. Yes. I sent my dog back to Pennsylvania to be with my parents while I lived at Lisa's and got over this breakup and found my own place. So Lisa, I lived in that downstairs apartment.
Yes.
Oh my God.
House on Kings Road, right?
On Kings Road. Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, I lived in the middle floor apartment, bedroom, because downstairs was Brian Tyler Cohen.
There was another guest.
Also going through a breakup?
I don't think he was going. I'm not sure. He might have been going. Probably.
The downstairs breakup apartment. That's a whole nother show.
And Lisa was on the top floor. And it was just this crazy, it's sort of like the job came and I really, it was so fuzzy that I went, well, maybe I'll just go do this. And it was a contract, but I looked at it and I said, oh, it's a lawyer. Lawyers, this will be 6 weeks and they'll let this part go. This will be done. So I'm going to go do this. And, 4 years later, I did the first contract and I loved it so much. I did a 2-year deal there and then I did another 2 years. That job changed my life. I would not have met my husband because there were some actors there that knew my husband and set us up on a blind date.
Oh my God.
I mean, my daughter wouldn't. When I think about that job and the friendships that I made I have some great friends from that show. I had a great time on the show. And I think about like my whole life now,
you won 2 Emmys.
Oh, right. 2 Emmy Awards.
Right. I won one. Only one.
Okay. One. Okay.
The one is great.
I mean, that's incredible. And I see it behind you.
I
see it over your shoulder. That's so cool.
And so when I think about, I can't imagine if I hadn't done that show. I'm so grateful. That is the one that changed everything, changed all the things that are important to me in my life. I would not be here if I hadn't have done that show. So
that's so awesome. What was the storyline of that season you won the Emmy? I'm curious, like what was the soap storyline for you?
All right. Well, we'll see. I don't know who's going to see this, but I had chosen to leave. Right. And they were not thrilled about that, but it was time. I had done this part. I'd done everything I thought I could do with it. And I was just feeling like I wanted to try my luck at other things. And, so I played a very grounded moral compass character. I was this lawyer who fought for the innocent. And so I remember the producer came down and she said, well, the storyline, your exit storyline is you're going to go crazy. And I went, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes.
What happens to make me crazy? And she said, oh, nothing. You're just going to go crazy.
Nervous breakdown.
Have a psychotic break.
I had this very weird, couple of weeks, and it made no sense, this turn. And I mean, it was insane. It was insane. And I thought, you know what? And I was newly dating my now husband. And I said, I've got these crazy scripts are coming in, but you know what? I just worked on them and found stuff.
You as an actress have to make it make sense.
You have to make it make sense, right? And there was a part of me that was mad at them too. Like, I know what you're doing, and I'm going to get you back because I'm going to make this really great.
and then,
Now, I never in a million years thought there'd be an Emmy out of it. I just thought, I'm going to go out in style. I'm going to go out and I'm going to turn this.
People will remember this.
Yeah.
People will remember this performance. It may be something they laugh at, but they will remember. And then I won an Emmy for it. So that was
unbelievable.
That was an amazing. And I had left the show. I'd had a baby, and and then I won, and then I was like, oh, you guys, you're all great. I love you.
Of course. Thank you.
Right. But I love it. You all the restraints came off and you just went for it. And that's where you win an Emmy.
Yeah. And that's what we all do. I mean, isn't that what we do? We get such weird material and we have to make it work.
Yes.
We have to make it good because nobody's going to go, oh, that wasn't written very well. They're going to look and say, oh, Christine, I don't understand what she's doing.
Right.
David, that wasn't very good.
You as the actor is the representation. Nobody thinks about the script. It's what you make of it.
Right.
And for you to
husband writer, sorry about that, but
yes.
You're on camera.
All those people think about this. All the important people who make these things.
Valuable they. We know they're everything.
Of course.
But that work that you do, that underneath work that you do can elevate the writing and the performance.
It should. That's what we're brought in to do, I think.
For sure.
Wow.
I'm going to just say a few shows and just tell me because there's so many on here. Just tell me what your reaction was.
Rapid fire, David? Rapid fire?
No, just
reactions?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorite things. I love all of them. One of the greatest experiences, it's like shooting an indie movie.
Was it improv? Was there a lot of off script type stuff?
A little bit, not as much as you think. There's a lot of written stuff. Some of the bits, there is improv, but a lot of bits go on and kind of physicality bits.
Right, and probably in the rehearsal process, you can work things out.
A little bit.
They just look like they're having so much fun on that set.
They're having so much fun. And, and I'm playing this woman with giant boobs and, all these cutlets and paddings and all these things. I look ridiculous.
Oh, that's great.
I don't have to do much.
Right.
So there's a sight gag and then you get to just lean in.
Gag and But it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. When your makeup and wardrobe just gives you 90% of the
greatest gift.
What about Grey's Anatomy? How was that set?
Oh my gosh. That was it was exactly what it looks like. It's pow, 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 fast, 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 fast.
Yeah.
You're done. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
I did the show, just a few years ago, right? It's been on How long has that show been on?
It's still on. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
So let's say I did it in episode season 12 or 13 or something. It's such a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
That you get in, you do your stuff, and you get out.
Right. You better be ready.
Actually, that was one of my first jobs after I took 2 years off when my daughter was born to not work and just be with her. And so that was maybe like the second thing I did after.
It's a good one to get back into it.
That's a nice one back. Yeah.
2.5 Men.
Oh my gosh. I had so much fun on that. 2.5 Men. Charlie was great. He was professional and funny. I played his possible sister who we end up drunk and in bed together. We don't know that we're possible siblings till later when our mothers come in.
Oh, hilarious.
Yes.
And
that's
say,
hilarious. Stop what you're doing. You can't do this. You might be brother and sister.
My God.
So
That's
ridiculous.
funny.
Right. So ridiculous. But I haven't done a whole lot of them, but I love sitcoms. I love being that was still in front of a live audience. I would have loved to have done and still to do a show like that for years and years and years. That just looks so satisfying. Have you guys done a regular on a
David, you did a lot of regular work on multicams.
Like the dream.
It's exciting. Like the energy. Yeah, that tape night energy is exciting.
Yes.
But I'm glad to hear Charlie was good to work with and you had a good experience.
When I worked with him, I had a great experience. Yeah.
I have to say, you have, because coming from soaps, which are, you I think have to have a sense of humor to be able to lean into some of the storylines, but they're not on paper meant to be comedies, or they're not. It's a specific. And you've done so much dramatic work, but you are so funny. I watched the pilot of Acapulco because it's one of those shows that because of, being in the Apple TV family of like, I would see it all the time. And, David and I talked about, earlier, just the shows that you want to watch. And it just always looked so colorful and so fun, but I never got to it. And then knowing you were coming on and Lisa also mentioning that you guys all lived all together, right? In Puerto Vallarta. Is that where you guys shot it?
Yes.
Oh, so fun.
First of all, you are so funny. I didn't realize, and maybe it's set, and I just glazed over that it's set in the 80s. It's sort of told through flashbacks. So the 80s style, the 80s clothes, the 80s colors, and you're in the craziest stuff, but you are so funny. And I feel like you really just have such a range. Like you're such a great comedic actor, but obviously you're winning Emmys for your dramatic work as a crazy person. I hope
crazy
you'll
and
do more
funny
comedy. I
would love to do more comedy. That was really fun. And that set you see, that's where we lived. And it was during COVID, the first couple of seasons. So
that resort, was that a working resort? It was a
running hotel that they come in every season. They paint it pink. And when we leave, they paint it cream or whatever it is back to what it looks like. And we live in the 80s for 3 months. It's not hard. It's not hard to feel like you're in 1985. I mean, my first experience with 1985 was not that exciting, but this one was playing a rich hotelier.
Right.
You're the owner?
Yes.
I'm the owner. Yes.
My God.
I'm a Hollywood actress who has moved to kind of a has-been who has moved to, loves this hotel, used to come as a guest. It's supposed to be about Acapulco in the 80s, which is where all the celebs went. And she bought the hotel she loved. And she's a fitness queen. She made her millions in like
do Jane Fonda videos, right? And weight loss drinks, right?
Yes. Weight loss drinks. In fact, Jane Fonda is her rival.
Right.
It's one of the greatest characters I've ever played.
It's delicious.
I got to tell you, when I was a teenager, like probably 85, 86, 87, we would go every February to the Acapulco Princess for a week.
David,
That was
are you kidding?
No, I'd come back draped with Aka Joe. Remember Aka Joe? The brand?
No.
Come on.
Was that clothes? Like Tommy Bahama? It was like a Tommy Bahama?
It was called Aka Joe. It was a huge brand, but you could get it.
If you didn't go to Acapulco
right, how would
growing
we know?
up, how would you know?
No, they had the stores in New York too, but yeah,
Aka Joe.
I got to watch that show because I literally live that. Like the Acapulco Princess was one of those hotels.
I'm going to keep watching it because it is there's so much heart to it, but it's hysterically funny. And I love the whole idea of it. So it's a treat to get to when we meet guests and have people on to get to sort of dig into their work and discover these gems. You guys did 4 seasons, right?
We did 4 seasons, yeah. And I think they get better and better as they go, as we found our way. It was like the little show that could on Apple, Yes. I don't know. Every season, we thought, this is it. And they would say, okay, you can do another one.
Did you enjoy living on location all that time in the set you were working?
I loved it. The only thing was it was a little difficult with my family.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, but we had a really good rule that we would not go more than 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. It's a 3-hour direct plane ride. So I would come home and, because we have things like FaceTime and all of this, I would still spend hours. Right. I would spend 2 hours in the morning when she got ready and 2 hours at night having dinner with them on FaceTime. And
sweet.
And then I would come back here, but they much preferred to come to Puerto Vallarta.
Of course.
And we'd be shooting. So, there'd be a giant pool that it was just my husband and my daughter. So she now thinks resorts look like that. She was 5 to 9 when we did the show. And so she thinks that's what resorts are.
You just get the place to yourself.
And you have a buffet and all day buffet and there's ice cream and craft service. And it was amazing.
You took over the whole hotel?
We took over the whole hotel.
Oh my
Nobody
God.
else came in. It was just us. It was just the cast and crew.
So fun.
Yeah. And we lived together for 3 months, at least 3 months a year. It was,
what an experience.
Your situation, like, Hey Dude, where it was your family.
Yeah.
And I still feel that, I'm mama because I'm the older one. So I'm mama to all of these amazing young actors who are starting out. A lot of them, this is their first job. And I've had to tell them they don't all look like this.
Right.
But isn't
it nice to sort of be the mama bear in those experiences? I've loved this chapter of being able to meet and work with this incredibly talented up and coming artists who are so excited about this next chapter and just being a fly on the wall to sort of watching their careers bloom and blossom and imparting wisdom. And, it's a neat stage of life to be able to experience that.
It's my favorite chapter because, what used to be, I'd show up with my own nerves and uncertainty and all of that has been replaced with, I come prepared like we all do, but now there's guidance to share and there's kindness to share and there's an example. Like now, maybe the people that didn't treat me so nicely on a set, now I'm the example and I get to show them this is how you behave. This is what you do. This is how you treat people, and that's I love it. I love that responsibility. I love that job. And I love being that person on the set that's kind of the mama who wrangles everybody together.
So great.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about the book. We have to talk about Lucy. We have to tell us about, by the way, and we'll put this picture up, but Lisa just sent this to me because I asked, because I was visiting Lisa and got to meet Lucy and fell so in love. Lisa sent me this photo of me and Lucy. on her couch.
I know that photo. I know that photo well.
And I was like, this is...
I often said I've never met Christine, but my dog.
I know.
Is Lucy the dog in the book?
Yes.
It's based on?
Well, Lucy is not it is based on Lucy. We were very careful. We were very intentional, not putting names and not putting genders. They're just big dog and little dog. And that was so people could connect their own pets to the story.
Right.
Maybe the dog isn't a girl or it's not named Lucy or it's, so we wanted it to be a book that people could see themselves, their own pets, rather than a specific, my specific dog.
Yes.
Yes. But so our mutual friend, Lisa, when it was Lucy and me for a good 6 years, before I met my husband. And so when I would work or I'd go away, Lucy would always go with Lisa.
To Aunt Lisa's.
Aunt Lisa's. Yes. She'd go to her getaway. We called it her summer home, her getaway. Right. And so my dog had a whole life outside of me with all of these famous people and this photographs with her, like people like Christine snuggling. And there's so many people that my dog knew that I never met. And when we were going through pictures, Lucy passed and we were going through all these amazing pictures, and Lisa sent me this whole album, and there were people I had never met, and they're all hugging Lucy. Hugging my dog and hanging out. And, so we were, Lisa was very close to her and Aunt Lisa. And, and when she passed, it was hard for all of us. And, Lisa would come over and we would just sit and be sad and talk about Lucy and all the good times. And we'd look at pictures. And, out of that, one day, Lisa got up to get a drink and she said, "Why is Lucy in the hardwood floor?" And I looked and you could see like the knots in the floor sort of made it look like my dog. And then, whoa, there she is in the clouds. And, ooh, you can make her out in this water droplet. And that's from real things that were happening to us and making us smile and making us feel better.
Yes.
Out of
filling your heart
came a story, and it was filling our heart, because you're going to be sad. We've all experienced this, but Lisa has said this: you don't have to only be sad. There's room to remember to remember all the good, and they don't. When they're here, they don't bring any sadness. They don't bring anything but love and joy. And I feel like it's so nice if we can remember that about them and honor them in that way. They wouldn't want us to be sad. They wouldn't want us to be lost without them. They'd want us to think of them and smile. And that's really what the book is, the heart of the book.
It's so beautiful. And it's for people of all ages.
Yeah, I was going to say, the book is comforting to me.
Yes.
My dog is 8, and that is a fear of mine, but I love the message in this book that they're still with you.
It's the deal we make, isn't it? When we get these beautiful creatures.
That's
we know.
what I had a friend say. We're signing, anytime we get a dog or a cat or a pet, we are signing a contract for heartbreak. And it's the sure thing that that is, we all know that in life. It's the one true thing we all know about any of us, but it's the hardest thing.
But I think it's interesting that we do it again. We do it again.
Right, because what are you going to do?
Like, what are you going to do?
Have that love and that experience because you're afraid of...
It's worth it.
Yeah. The love is bigger than the sadness and the grief.
Yes.
It's not possible. It just is.
Yes. I had a friend say it's unconditional love in canine form, or in, you know what I mean? It looks different when it's in, and Lucy, I would always say to Lisa too, I would just say, it's like, she's a human in a dog suit. Like it's just, she was such a person. She had such a personality without the judgment, without the baggage, without, it was so pure. It was so pure. And she really touched, I mean, even just in my short time of knowing her, touched my life. And that's what these, our furry friends and babies, our fur babies do for us. But I really, the book is, by the time this podcast airs, this will be available for purchase.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And you two have been so amazing. Both of you, your support for Lisa and I and the book. We, on behalf of her, like, we are just so grateful.
Congratulations.
This is a special one. And you both together, you feel the love that you both shared together for Lucy. And, it's a book I think just everybody should have, because it just helps you understand grief in a very simple, for someone beautiful way.
That has gone through this. It's called Where's Big Dog? And it's a beautiful message
and the illustrations are beautiful. They're so beautiful.
Yes,
the cloud in the wood. Yes. It's just nailed it.
Great job.
Huge congratulations.
Wow.
Yes.
This was such a treat. And maybe next time I'm in LA, all four of us with Lisa can get together.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we have to.
Well, that was fun.
Is so much fun. Again, this is one of those great experiences we get on this podcast where we get to meet and talk to people that we don't know. Sometimes a lot of people we know.
Lisa talks about her all the time, especially with the writing of this book. But I had never met her, and it was such a great conversation.
Yeah.
And now we have a new friend.
Yes, we have a new friend. And this book, I'm telling everybody, and I'm not selling it because I have nothing, no stakes, just a beautiful, beautiful book. So simple. You read it, you can read it in probably less than 5 minutes. There's not a lot of words. It's so simple, but it's so
powerful.
Pure.
It's a powerful subject. And listen, Indy is our first dog. So
Indy's your first dog. Oh my gosh, David.
I've never had these feelings of like fear for what, someday he's not going to be here. And like, it's very confusing, and it feels like it's this vulnerable spot in my life. But
because you love him so much.
So much. And
my
kids.
He's also our podcast mascot.
Yeah, my kids love him so much. He's like
he's young, though. He's young. I know you keep saying he's going to be 9, but that's still young. He's okay. He's going to be okay. He's here. He's here for a while.
I know. But this book also, like, for anyone that has a dog, it's like, it's a beautiful message that they are always going to be with you.
Yes, or a kitty cat, it does transfer to any pet that you love. And it had that kind of love for and lost. And, but so anyway, Jessica's terrific. I love talking about the soap opera stuff. I love talking about all of her, 90s adventures. I think we all shared very similar experiences when we moved to LA and we're just getting started. But what a treat.
Yeah, another great one in the books. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can follow us at Hey Dude, the 90s Called. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share these episodes with anyone you think might enjoy them. And we will see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Yay Media Group.